Good morning, Joey and Salima, Joey's beautiful wife. You said you'd married up, Joey. I can see you're correct.
You do? Thank you.
I haven't met Salima before, so welcome, Salima. And thank you so much for hopping on today. I know you guys are off in Paris for the Olympics. Are you having a good time over there?
Yep, we
Awesome.
are.
Awesome. And so let's see about selling your house, and I'll go through the listing presentation as quickly as I can so you can get back to having fun over there. So bear with me for a moment
No
while
problem at all. I think it's a good time for us to take a break.
thank
So for a bit,
you.
talk about our house and
Yeah, thank you for meeting with us. We appreciate your time.
Of course, of course. And now you should be able to see the listing presentation at this point. Hopefully you can.
Yeah.
yep, we see it.
Awesome. Okay. So, Rowena Patton, you know me already, Salima. It's a pleasure to meet you. And we do have a best-selling book on selling homes. So we want to make your home a bestseller, right? And of course, I know that you'd also had some interest in the cash offer. So I'd like to go through all the various things that we do. First of all, I'd like to go through what's happening in the economy. I know it's a little hard for you to see on a screen. I've normally got this on my printed out presentation for you to look at. But if you look at the little flashes down here, you know, we all know about the economic cycle. Good old Clement Juglar, a French economist, you're in Paris right now. Ask some people around you about Clement Juglar. They'll tell you all about him. He's a famous French economist. In 1860, he set up the economic cycle being 7 to 11 years. Now, why are we talking about that when we're talking about selling your home? Because most markets in the country, including yours, crested over a year ago. So we're rolling around up here right now.
Mhm.
That makes sense. You've probably heard that from other people as well, I would guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So what causes this? Are we seeing any political unrest right now?
Oh yeah.
Are
Yep.
you probably seeing
Crazy,
that
crazy
going on in
times.
France as well as you're over there? Oh, are we seeing anything about job reports right now?
Yeah.
You've been out of the country, but I don't know if you know, but the unemployment rate just ticked up beyond what we were expecting. So that wasn't very good news for the economy either. So anything in interest rates right now, and these are all things you would know as you know, everyday people. You don't need to be an agent to know this, obviously. So you seeing anything in interest rates right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of things are going on that have caused this, and most people are expecting some kind of recession to happen, and we're bumping along the top in you know, most markets in the country. So even people coming in from other markets around the country are also feeling this pressure. Or as buyers, you're thinking, oh, maybe we can get a deal right now, you know. So we're seeing all kinds of things going on. So I think you'd agree you've got three pathways as a home seller right now. So you could hold the home for the price. This red line right here, by the way, things go up and down. You're used to looking at the stock market, I'm sure. It doesn't go up and down in a straight line like this. It's all ziggy zaggy, but that wouldn't make for a very pretty picture to look at. This red line right here is the trend for houses. It should be a green line for money, actually. I'm just realizing that as I'm showing it to you. But this red line is a trend. Houses always go up, at least they always have in history, and they rise 2 to 5% over the long term. So given the economic cycle is 7 to 11 years, let's use 10 years because the math's easy. And you're on vacation after all. Let's make the math easy. So how would you guys feel about the first one, holding the home for the price? That means maybe moving. I know you want to move out of state. However, maybe holding on to it and renting it out would be fine, or just holding on to it. Let's think about Thanksgiving, for example. We've got Thanksgiving coming up here. Your family's coming to your home. Just imagine for a minute, you can close your eyes if you like closing your eyes and doing imagination games, and imagine your family coming at Thanksgiving. Now, this year, who will be around the table? Try and scoot forward in your mind. Think about how old you'll be. Think about how old your kids, pets, family will be in 10 years' time. Does that home still work for you?
Hmm. It's a great question. I mean, before seeing the graph that you shared, I think you said it's from a French economist, and it's crazy how this trend started since 1800. Is that what you
Yeah,
mentioned
Clement
earlier?
Juglar. Clement
Uh,
Juglar and a number of other economists fight about who came up with it, but the economic cycle is 7 to 11 years, and this has been going on since 1860. Nothing new about it at all. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, at least in capitalist countries.
well, it's funny you asked that question because we've been arguing respectfully, of course, if we're just gonna hold on the property because if
Okay.
you were thinking that we wanted to sell the property at the best price as we can, but we didn't realize that it might take a couple of years before the market will pick up again, which sounds like it's going to be 10 years from now. I don't know. That's why we invited you to have a conversation.
Well, I
Well,
love sorry, Selena, go ahead.
no, I was just thinking about, becoming a landlord. I remember last time we were landlords, and remember that tenant Kenny called
Oh
you
yeah.
every 3 hours. I don't know if that's something we want to do again.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, home
well,
prices go up. So the good news is, if you decided on the first one, like stay in the house, does it work for you? What does that family look like around the table? Will your parents still be around in 10 years? Will your pets still be around? Will the people that come and sit around your Thanksgiving table will it be the same people in 10 years time? Are the kids off at college? Do you need the size of house that you've got right now?
I mean, we'll have grandchildren hopefully in 10 years, and we'd like to have a yard for the grandchildren and
Okay.
for our pets as well. Like we're talking about having another dog as well, since
oh
the
boy,
children aren't going to
my
be.
responsibility again. So,
I'm sure. So you could stay in the house you've got if it works for you, right? And I'll support you through that. And every so often I can send you a value and you can watch the value go down and then back up again. Statistically, we're looking at 3.5 to 5.5 years for it to go down to the bottom. And then it climbs for 3.5 to 5.5. So if you want to stay in the house, what I do want to say to you is I want you to have that 10-year mindset. Don't think, oh, I'm going to dip my toe in a couple of years, because chances are it will be worth less at that point. And another option is we can get you into your next house and you can keep hold of this one and rent it out. How would that work for you? And make some money in 10 years' time. But I think Salima already answered that because you've tried that before. So what do you think again about these first two pathways? Maybe holding the home for the price or becoming a landlord? Or did we take becoming a landlord off the table?
I mean, for me, Ro, now that I see the graph, I think holding the home for another 10 years might not be a great idea, especially for what we wanted to accomplish over
Okay.
the next couple of years. Landlord, I'm kind of mixed because I mean I was happy with the cash flow that we were getting at that time. Is it worth the headache? I don't know. Maybe when I was younger, it was much easier. Now I don't know if I still will still have a patience to deal with with the tenants. But I think sometimes it's a combination of luck of getting a great tenant,
Yeah.
but it's hard to tell.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing. So if you choose the second pathway, I'll help you with that. It's depending on the market, of course. I know you're not too familiar with this market right now, because of the length that you've been in the house. Agents don't really make a whole lot of money on renting, but that doesn't matter. You're my clients. I want what's right for you. So if you choose to go pathway 2 and become a landlord, I will help you with that, and I will help you find a tenant. Here's the thing, should you choose that path, I want you to have that 10-year mindset. Don't go, oh, we'll rent it for a couple of years and see how we feel, because what you don't want to do is go through what you've already said is the aggravating renting, and then in year 3 or year 4 or your year 5 sell it at the bottom of the market. So have the 10-year mindset for any of these pathways. If you don't like 1 and 2, what we need to do is get it sold as quickly as possible. We're still before the election. We've got lots of tailwind right now where we've got that window of opportunity to get it sold. If we're going to get it sold, we want to get aggressive and we want to get it out there now. And thank you. I know you'd already said to me, Joey, you want an agent with experience because you know the market's a little bit bumpy and will continue to be so for 3 to 5 years. So thank you for that. I very much appreciate you saying that. And I would say that to anybody, whether I'm the agent or not, anywhere in the country, to just choose an agent with experience right now, that's been through this before and knows how to get your home sold. Many agents came into the market in the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been really easy. 2 years ago, we were having multiple offers. I know agents who don't know how to negotiate because we didn't have to negotiate for so long. We're in a very, very different market now, almost everywhere in the country. We've seen price drops, for example, in your zip codes for the last 6 months straight. That's not really hit prices yet because we still have limited inventory. However, by Thanksgiving, all those price drops are going to come home to roost, and I think we're going to see lower prices. So now we have to say, how do we get it out with as much marketing as possible and do it in the right way? So we've been through all of this. You know, most markets in the USA crested already, and we've got the 3 pathways. We've already talked about, what it would be like in Thanksgiving in 10 years' time, and does that home work for you? And I think you've settled. You tell me. I think you've settled on getting out now and moving on what you want to do. Do you want to just share for a second? I know, Joey, you shared with me a little bit. Do you want to share what you're doing next, so I can, make sure the strategy is built around that?
Well, Salima mentioned earlier that we wanted to have a bigger backyard, so for our future grandchildren.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
that's
what about where you want to be? You mentioned going out of state before for lower taxes.
We love California, but we've been thinking moving out of state. There's a couple of areas that we've talked about before. We're still uncertain, but what do you have really your first choice? I know.
For me personally, it's been Arizona. I know Joey is a little bit. We're still going back and forth about that.
Want to be close to the ocean all the time.
Okay.
Desert and oceans, and that doesn't really. Maybe we should have 2 separate homes.
Okay, well, moving on quickly. So let's talk about certified pre-owned homes.
I don't think that's going to work long term.
You see how I moved on quickly from that one. You just keep enjoying yourselves in Paris right now. I'm sure you're having a lovely romantic time. So let's talk about certified pre-owned homes. We've been doing this since 2007. We're part of a network called CPO Experts. And this is very important because, especially in a bumpy market, but all the way along. Certified pre-owned home, have you ever heard of a CPO car?
Certified yes, prefer a car, yeah, certified
pre-owned. Okay, so all the car dealerships have them. Carvana is based on that model, for example. CarMax is based on that model. So you take a $20,000 car and you do a 156-point inspection, and those cars are selling for 6% more. Why do you think people love certified pre-owned cars?
Peace of mind, certainty that everything was checked before they sell it.
Yeah, it absolutely hit the nail on the head. We don't want to buy a lemon. So when I got into real estate back in 2007, things were just falling apart. Well, things were falling apart in 2007 anyway. But on top of that, a lot of deals are falling apart. And then I thought, well, why is it that we put a car on the market that's $20,000 or $30,000, and yet we take a $500,000 home or $1 million home and we throw it out there and hope for the best? So I thought, why don't we do the appraisal, inspection, and home warranty? So we have certified pre-owned homes. You don't have to do this program, and should you choose to do this program, I'm going to ask you to at least do the inspection, and I'll go into all the details why. The inspection is going to cost you $500-600, depending on which inspections we choose to do.
Okay.
You can offer a home warranty that ties it up with a nice little neat bow, because buyers are getting more nervous right now. And also you can choose to do the appraisal if you want. But most importantly, the inspection. And I'll go into why as well. When your home's certified pre-owned or at least partial CPO, buyer agents are going to prioritize your home, quite rightly, because it's a better home for the buyers. There's all the risk is taken out. It's like, do we choose the car on Craigslist, or do we choose the CPO car from the dealership that's around the same price? You know, there's really no choice for most people, right? So, and we overcome that inspection hurdle. So you probably haven't sold a home in a while, but what happens is a week or 2 weeks after we go under contract, and I'm going to sell your house, we're going to get it under contract. So a week or 2 weeks in, the inspectors come out, and inspectors have to earn their money after all. On average, they're going to find 50 or 60 items that's wrong with your house. And then I know, right? And then
we took care, didn't mean to interrupt, but we took care of our house really well, all the maintenance. And so we're not really, worried about that part.
I know, Joey, Salima, I totally hear you. I can tell you that I've been doing this a long time. I'm 3,500 transactions in, and all my sellers say that. And by the way, I think that about my home too. The thing is, the inspectors have to earn their money. They've got to find these things. And there's all kinds of things that you can't see. You know, it may be some flashing on the roof. It may be something that's going on in the basement. It may be something that's going on under the sink that we just don't know about. Like when you bought your house in the first place, you probably didn't go through every single item on the inspection report when you bought it years ago and put them all right. Not only that, things go wrong over time. So I promise you they'll find them. It just happens to me every day, and we're always surprised by it. Even with new homes, by the way, we're going to find 30 or 40 things. These homes are brand new. They've just been built. So it's very, very natural, however well you've maintained it. So the average dropouts, if you don't CPO your home, and what I mean is I'm going to sell your house, we're going to get under contract. The average dropouts all around the country runs around 33%. Most agents won't tell you that, Joey and Salima. What that means is we're going to get all excited. You're going to get ready to move. You're going to get the moving trucks booked and the, you know, the new schools set up and everything else, the new vets set up for where we all dovetail you into when you move. And then it's going to drop out a third of the time. With CPO, that averages 7%, because we've either taken care of all the things up front. Now, you mentioned you don't have a lot of money flowing around, so you don't want to fix anything. However, don't worry about that. You don't have to. We can just notate it on the inspection report that comes back so that the buyers can see it. That way, everybody goes in eyes wide open and feels comfortable about how we price the home, because we priced it based on knowing these things needed fixing. All houses need things that need fixing. But before you go under contract, what we want to do is, and I know this sounds crazy, we're going to share that inspection report with the buyers, notated with the things we've fixed or not fixed. Mm-hmm. And we're going to say, listen, before you sign on the line, we want to share this with you. And over many hundreds that I've shared, nobody's ever backed out, because they're like, oh, Joey and Salima are being honest and they're telling us what's going on with the house. Oh, I'm not sure about that and I'm not sure about this, but you know what? It's a fair price for the house. What that stops is that big repair request that often comes 2 or 3 weeks in once we get you under contract. Or even worse, the third that drop out, now you've got what's called a stigmatized listing. That means that everybody is calling me saying, well, I really liked that home, that one with the red door on 123 Main Street, but what's wrong with it? Because I saw it dropped out. It creates that stigma that has people worried. So, you know, you pay a few dollars up front. I know it's $500 or $600. It's like an insurance policy. So can you see how that works for you?
What about, like, as we've been upfront from the beginning, Row, as much as possible. We want to spend little to no money upfront in fixing it, because we really feel like we've really kept the property really well. So what if we found something on now that you've mentioned that typically a home inspection will show something, and what if we don't want to spend anything? Is it going to help at all, even if we got the home inspection ahead of time?
Joey, that is a really smart question. Absolutely. Here's why. We notate the inspection. You know, we're going to probably fix a few cosmetic things, couple $100. And I don't know, Salima, is Joey handy? Do you think you can get him to fix a few things around the house?
I mean, that's actually one of the reasons why I married him is because he is pretty handy. So I am hoping that we won't have too many items come up, and maybe there's some things that he can just fix himself. But it would be a good idea to know in advance versus when we're on the market. The other agent didn't bring that up to us.
Am I going to get paid if I fix it myself? Or...
I am sure that Salima brings a lot to the relationship, and I'm sure can pay in kind, whether that's a nice dinner or something.
Oh, I can argue with that, but it's okay. Go on.
Maybe she can just be nice to you, Joey, for a whole day or something, you know, or take you out on a date night. How about that? For fixing up all those
Yeah,
things.
you're gonna take me out.
You know what they
Oh,
say?
is it
Happy life, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
agree.
So it may be that it's a really nice idea to do the inspection. And Joey, you don't have to get your credit card out. Even if you fix a few of those things, we can notate them. But even the act of sharing the inspection with the buyers, it does two things. It shows them that you're quite open and honest, and everybody's literally, on the same page, but also that we priced it knowing that there were these issues. And also we're going to notate it with the few things that you have fixed, should you choose to do that. But we can have a whole conversation about that when we get the inspection back. Does that sound good?
Oh, you know what? That's really interesting. So what's your experience? Because it sounds like, I mean, to me, what you're saying right now totally makes sense. Because if I am on the buyer side and the seller or the listing agent is very transparent upfront so there's no surprises. And I get what you're saying, that if we only found out about this 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, and that's probably going to scare the buyer away. And so what's your experience when you're upfront to the prospective buyers about, the items that needs to be addressed, or maybe those are just a regular wear and tear?
Sometimes they are wear and tear, and sometimes the things will come up, sometimes they won't. And we can go into that when we get the inspection report back.
Okay.
The experience is because they feel a sense of peace, right? And they feel a sense that you're not trying to hide anything. Too often in a real estate transaction, the buyers think the sellers are trying to hide something, or the sellers think the buyers are trying to hide something. And it's our job as real estate agents to calm all of that down and not, try and control the transaction. We're brokers at the end of the day, to, try and give everyone the best experience possible when selling a house. I can also tell you, Joey and Salima, that, once we're going to get it sold and you're going to go under contract, and then a week later or 2 weeks later, we're all going to have a sleepless night worried about what comes back on the inspection report. This takes that off the table. The buyers are feeling the same way. So you look at the psychology of the buyers who are buying your house. We have to do that because that's how you're making all this money for your house. You're going to make a really nice profit on it. They get all excited. Oh, this is the one for us. Finally, we found the one. And then they start getting nervous towards the inspection, and they have that buyer's remorse come in. This takes a lot of that off the table. You can see how that works.
100%. Yeah, I love the fact that it's also going to give us peace of mind, because we're not going to get surprised along the way. Yeah, I think it's a good
Yeah, you don't
idea.
have to be stressed.
I know that you had mentioned that it's going to reflect on the price. Does that mean that we're going to price it lower because of the items that are going to come up, or?
I'm confident they're not going to find anything, but go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, Joey's very confident nothing's going to be.
I'm Mr. Fix-It. I'm a handyman.
We're going to price it now, quite honestly. That's a conversational piece. It depends what we find. We may find that with some sellers, we find out that the roof needs replacing. So obviously that's a high ticket item, which again, we can get ahead of that. Let's say worst case scenario, Joey, I know you don't feel any of this will come back, but for some sellers previously, we have a roof that needs replacing, literally. It's failing and needs replacing. So we know that's going to be a big deterrent for the buyers. So if, for example, as the seller can't afford to replace the roof, we can get 3 quotes. Now, when you're under contract, there's a lot more stress and a lot more pressure. The roofers come in, they see the sign. Oh my goodness, this is for sale. Guess what happens to the prices? They go up. When we do it ahead of time, we get 3 quotes. They know we're getting 3 quotes. The pressure's taken off. So we can look at the least expensive one, with roofers with a good reputation. and choose that one and put it with the listing. We can say, listen, we know the roof needs replacing and it's going to cost $12,000. Here's the quote to do it. When we go under contract, or when it closes, we can hold the money in escrow to get that done, or we've reduced the price. There's lots of scenarios that we can go through once you get that inspection back, should anything like that be there. But we've got all of the ways to manage that for you. We can reduce the price, or sometimes a better way to do it is keep the price where it's at and offer a credit for the roof. Just depends on what their loan's going to look like. We've got all the strategies to manage that when it comes up. But knowing it ahead of time, and instead of through that very stressful transaction where they're thinking, shall we go ahead or shall we pull out? You do not want them to pull out because you've got that stigmatized listing, right? It takes all of that off the table. Very, very, very few pull out when you choose to go this route. But I've got even better news for you. So now we know what the certified pre-owned is all about. We've now evolved into something called the CashCPO. The certified pre-owned is so important because of what we've just gone through. But now we have a funding partner, Zoomcasa, who will actually buy your home from you and turn it into a CPO home. So what that looks like is you don't have to have any showings. You don't have to fix anything up. You get up to 70% in 14 days. Now, I know you're thinking already, I'm going to deal with the elephant in the room. This is just like all the other cash offers. We're trying to steal your house. We're really not, because you're going to get another check when we go in and do the HGTV magic on the home and then sell it very often for more money. So they use their funds up front to pay for the inspection. They use their funds up front to pay for the appraisal. We then use their funds to put anything right on the inspection. And we have contractors set up. They have project managers. It's wonderful. 2/3 of our sellers actually make more money with this than a traditional listing. But guess what? You don't have to have any showings. Like, you don't have to get your little puppy aside every time somebody's coming into the house or wondering who's traipsing through your home 3 times a day. All that goes away. And obviously it's your choice, but this is another option there. It means you can make a non-contingent offer on your next home in 14 days. You're obviously waiting for your second check, but our average seller gets 90 to 120% of what you would with a conventional listing, but without the sign outside. So you don't have all your neighbors saying, oh, what's going on? Or nobody, you don't have a lockbox on your door or any of that going on. So let me show you what else we do, by the way.
Hey, Ro, sorry to interrupt you. I have a question about the cash offer. I know you said it's kind of different than a typical investor who's just going to buy the property.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing from you, they're going to pay a certain percentage of the as-is value, and then they can close as quick as did you say 2 weeks or
14 days? Yeah. And so
14 days?
It's going to be a full market value offer. And absolutely. And I'm going to show you what this looks like on a net sheet. I know it sounds too good to be true. I'm going to go through all of the details with you. So regardless of which pathway you choose here, I think you're leading towards selling. So let me go through the other things that we do for you when you're selling your home. We do lots of social media, and I know I've presented this to you before, so I'm going to go through this relatively quickly. We've got 70 plus niche Facebook pages. We do have a radio show that's syndicated where we get a lot of this out. We've got Facebook pages, we've got Instagram pages, we've got TikTok, we've got YouTube. You mention it, we're dominating across all of those different social media platforms. We have the love it or leave it guarantee. Why am I telling you that as sellers? Because the buyers love it, right? So when they purchase with us, which you did, of course, which is why you're getting a discount on the sale. When you purchase with us, we're going to give you a discount for 10 years. It's only a small discount. However, for your buyers that are coming in, you're in California. People we know are a little nervous about moving to California right now. If they are not sure about your area, or if they're not sure about California or literally the neighborhood, maybe they haven't lived in that neighborhood before, we will sell it for free for 6 months on the seller side. Now, what that means is it gives buyers peace of mind buying your home. So we're attracting more buyers through that. We are also very proud to be endorsed through CashCPO with the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. It's t2t.org. This is an amazing foundation that pays off mortgages for firefighters, for first responders. You know, we hear in the news, unfortunately, all the time of them passing and their widows or widowers, you know, having a mortgage. They pay off the mortgages. It's amazing. They're actually building a whole town right now in Florida for wounded veterans. It's incredible. And we give back a percentage for anybody that has served, you know, through our, whether that's buyers or sellers. So I don't know if you've ever served in any of those roles. Were you ever in the military?
No, I do have some family members who did.
Wonderful, wonderful. So it's a great foundation that we support through this. We've given back, we're on the way to giving back $1 million on a small team, and across the board, we've given back way over $1 million. We do have a radio show that's syndicated on Fox every Saturday. We've had it for 12 years. I know you've listened in on the radio show. Anybody anywhere can listen. We talk about the program a lot and all of the nuances of it, so that helps buyers as well. And also we get your home out there on the radio, wherever it is in the country. So that's every week. We could do call-ins as well. It is live, so it's broadcast live. We also have a podcast out of that, so you can share it with your friends as well when we feature your house on there. We have a memories video. So if anything happened that was memorable in your home, maybe something that happened, you know, with the kids, or when you brought the new puppy home or something like that, we can capture the memories for you. You don't have to be on the video. That's fine. It's like a walking tour video, basically, we do around your house, and you can capture the memories. Mm-hmm. Do you have any memories in your home you'd like
it's still in the CD. I have to transfer it to my hard drive, but that's really nice. It's I mean, love what you're doing, especially the is it the T2T dot?
Yeah, t2t.org.
That's really nice of you.
He lost his brother, Frank Siller, who's the CEO, lost his brother in 9/11, and he set up the foundation after that. And it's if you start using the videos, start watching the videos on YouTube, have some tissues, because it will absolutely blow you away. Some very famous veterans on there that have lost limbs, and they build these amazing houses for them. It's absolutely incredible. The memories video will capture that for you. We'll make a private link on YouTube, and you don't have to be in the video. You can just tell me the memories and I'll walk around the house, because often we're attached to the memories in a house and not the box. You know, we think we're attached to the house, but often that's just the box, and you want to be able to take those memories. You mentioned having grandkids in the future. How cool would it be for them to see all the houses you've ever lived in? That'd be kind of fun. Well, you'd think it would be, Joey, and they'd probably all be really bored with it, right? We also have a coming soon program. So while we're, you know, should we find we do the inspection and we're making some of the repairs, while we're doing that, then, you know, we can get it on the coming soon program. That's where we get you on the MLS we can do it in our market for 2 weeks, whereby nobody can come in and see your home. However, it's on the MLS. So people start getting excited about it. You know, it's like, oh, I really like that one. That's a neighborhood I've been looking for. That's in the price point I want. So you kind of build up a following, if you like, while it's on that coming soon. But nobody can come in. So, you know, you've got all your privacy for that 2 weeks. So now it's time to choose. We've got the exciting part. We've got, and it's your choice. You know, I'm not here to bully you into doing something one way or the other. So you've got a conventional listing. I'll be able to get your home sold. And these are all probabilities. There's no guarantees in real estate. I wish I had a magic wand. I don't. I do have some programs, as you can see, that make all of this a lot easier and more likely to happen. So increase the probabilities for you. So one is the conventional listing. I'm going to bring you a check at Thanksgiving. That's probably when we'll close if we list it tomorrow. But the average time on the market, the fact that it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks to close once I bring you that contract, you're going to get a check at Thanksgiving. And by the way, I'm going to bring you that check 67% of the time, because I can't control the dropouts. I wish I could. I can't control buyers wigging out when we get to that contract stage, or maybe leasing a car or something like that. You know, that throws in there too. But the biggest reason it falls out is because of the inspection and the appraisal. Or so stage one, again, just to reiterate, you're going to most likely get a check somewhere around Thanksgiving, And I'm going to bring you that check 67% of the time on average. And that's everywhere in the country, by the way. That's not just me. Not because I'm not a great listing agent. I sell a lot of homes, I promise. Is that we only have so much control on our seller side, on our listing side. So second choice is a conventional CPO listing, certified pre-owned listing. So again, I'm going to bring you that check at Thanksgiving. You know, you're going to have that check at Thanksgiving. And I'm going to bring you that check 93% of the time. The odds are way better. And to take it from a 67 to a 93% probability that you're going to get that check at Thanksgiving, that's going to cost you $500 or $600. So I can see Salima nodding her head there, saying that one sounds better. Or you've got the third option, which is a cash CPO offer. You don't have to outlay any money up front. We're going to get you up to 70% within 14 days. We're going to go in, do our HGTV magic. By the way, you can stay for up to 90 days if you want to. I forgot to mention that before.
Say that again, Ro. What's the 90 days?
You can stay up. You don't have to move out in 14 days. I mean, I know you're out of the country right now, and you can come back and you can close on your house, get up to 70% of it, and you can stay in the house up to 90 days if you want.
Oh, that's
That'll be helpful.
Yeah, that's a good option. Okay.
Yeah, why we domino you into your next house, and I can help you with that as well, by the way. I'm going to have those searches set up today for the houses that you're looking up, even though they're out of state. We've got the most amazing network of cash CPO people all around the country that can help you. And I'm going to have that search set up for you today for you. So while you've got some downtime in Paris, you can scroll through the houses and see if you like any.
Okay.
The sooner we get that, we want all the dominoes to fall at the same time. You find your new home, and you know, we don't want you to have to move into a rental or something in between. We want to make it as smooth as possible for you, so I can help you with that too.
Okay. Because I'm glad you've mentioned that, Ro, because we've been talking about it, like if we need to, because it's too hard to find a property right now that we really love. And are you saying that we can stay in the property while we're searching? Because I think one of the agents we spoke with, it will be difficult for us to be a contingent buyer, and so this might be
yeah, we want it to be a forever home, the next one. So we want to make sure that it's something that we're happy with, and we don't want to be rushed into anything.
We don't want to be pressured, like just submitting an offer for the sake of. So yeah, I think that's okay. Problem solved, I think. We've been.
I'm going to say something that's a little controversial right now. So many of my sellers, and I myself am sitting in my home that I said was going to be my forever home. I love the fact that it's most likely going to be your forever home. I'm going to work with the agent, and we're all going to work together to make sure you still have an exit plan, so that you're not overpaying, or you really take your time to find what you want, and at the same time you're not overpaying, or you know, doing something whereby, should you for any reason in 2 years' time think, oh my goodness, I really don't want to live here, then you have an exit plan. So I just want to put that little thought in your mind, even though it's most likely your forever home. And yes, Joey, you can absolutely stay, and we'll work very hard to find that perfect home for you to go into.
Okay, yeah, because the other option is like, should we rent for a year while we're searching, but at the same time we might get locked up on a contract, and all of a sudden the house that we wanted showed up all of a sudden, and like, but you know, we'll cross the bridge when we get there.
So the funny thing is, I'm glad you brought up the rental, Joey. So the average rental in the house, in the market where you're looking to buy a house, is $3,000 a month. Is that what you've been finding while you were looking at rentals?
Yeah, we've been looking around. Yeah, it's not cheap. It's rentals cheap right now are expensive.
So let's go back to the cycle again, because you could argue, you know, prices are going down. People are saying prices are going down. So I'm going to wait it out a year and I'm going to rent for a while. Let's look at what that looks like, right? Because it's all about numbers, $12,000, $24,000, $36,000. So I would argue that $36,000 in your rent for a year is a pretty good cushion. Let's say prices do come down. You've got $36,000 towards those prices going down. In other words, if you choose to buy a house instead, right, and you're like, oh gosh, what if the price goes down over the next year and we could have rented instead and waited out the price drop? You've got a $36,000 cushion. but it's even better. You don't have to move twice. So the cost of moving is probably at least $10,000. So now you've got a $46,000 cushion. And we know it's not all about money. It's about peace of mind and not having to go through all that aggravation. So how about now? Yes, you know, you got a $46,000 cushion, but you don't have to go through that aggravation twice.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
I know you wanted more detail, and I know that we've all gone through this separately. This is day 1 through day 105, and I'm going to email this to you at the end. Here are the 3: the traditional, conventional listing, the conventional CPO, and then a cash CPO. So 2/3 of sellers make more with the cash CPO. I'm going to bring you the check in Thanksgiving. I'm just going to do the bottom line here. I'm going to give you the check at Thanksgiving on the traditional CPO 93% of the time. I'm going to give you the check at Thanksgiving 67% of the time with a traditional. But with a traditional, you don't have to shell out that $600. Obviously, with the cash CPO, you're going to get money up to 70% within 14 days. You can stay in up to 90 days. And you mentioned that your countertops were a little bit chipped. So we could put some new countertops in there and probably get three times the investment back, right? Which pays for the program. Would you like to look at the net sheet? Would that help?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
that would be helpful.
The
Yeah.
numbers will really help.
Yeah, let's look at the real numbers. Bear with me just a second while I get that for you. Isn't it amazing that these days, you know, in real estate, we can talk to each other on different continents and then go over net without, isn't it incredible? So you should see investor cash offer, our cash CPO offer in the middle, and then a conventional sale on the right. Can you see all of those?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got an as-is value of 450. That means, you know, we all talked about putting it on the market at $450,000. Your mortgage balance, good job, nobody else can see this, is $181,000. And then we've got an after repair value, because I've run the comparables, right? So I can see homes around you are selling for a lot more. And you did mention that, you know, you hadn't upgraded a few things here and there. So I've put a renovation budget in because I'm the agent on, you know, in your market that knows all about the homes that are selling around you. I think if we can spend $70,000, then we're gonna, which puts us up to 520. I can sell it for 552. Does that, I mean, what do you think? If tomorrow you could go out and spend $70,000 on your home, does that make sense to you? That you could get some more money for it, knowing what your neighbors are selling for?
Well, for me, if you think, I mean, for me, money now is much better than money in the next couple of months.
Okay.
And so,
well, you don't have to spend this,
what do you
Joey.
think?
It's not your money. It's okay. I was just doing I mean, I'm the agent at the end of the day, so I'm supposed to give you these answers. I'm just doing a gut feel for you two, that if we spent $70,000 on your home, then you could be selling in the, you know, 550 range instead of the 450 range, based on what's selling around you. And by the way, this cash offer works whether or not you need anything doing to your home. You still get all of the same benefits. I just want to show you what the net sheet is on yours particularly.
I guess what I'm wondering is, where's the catch with that?
I know.
Is there a catch?
No, well, no, the catch is you have to wait for your second check. But with the other 2 options that we have, you know, you're not getting your check right away anyway. You're waiting until Thanksgiving. So before we even dive into this, would you all say that certified pre-owned is a good idea? Whether or not,
I mean, the traditional is out of the picture already, especially when you walk us through the scenarios of, you know, deals falling off escrow.
Yeah, we want to make sure that whoever, you know, the buyer is, that they have a peace of mind, and us have a peace of mind as well, so that, you know, we don't want to be terrified not knowing what's going to come up and then have such a high probability of the offer maybe falling through. We can't really risk that, and we're not wanting to do that.
Honestly, I've even had sellers, and you know, I'm a very fiscally conservative person, and they've even put it on their credit card, and I don't think that's a bad idea, because you're saving so much money. When you don't put things right up front, you put this fear into everybody's mind. Not only that, we have to get quotes for the issues. And remember, we're under contract at that stage. Time is not our friend. So we're running around trying to get quotes. The contractors see the signs in the yard. The prices go through the roof. It has to be a licensed contractor at that point. It can't be, you know, we're going to get Joey, we're going to set Joey to work here, putting some of those things right. We can't do that when we're under contract, right? So, you know, for all kinds of reasons, most of my sellers say it's a no-brainer. I only had 2 last year out of all the sales that I made that chose not to do this. And one of them, it was a cash offer at $800,000. And they walked away at the inspection because he chose not to do the inspection. He ended up selling 6 months later for $700,000. He lost $100,000. The second one, these are both true stories. The second one put the home on the market. It was sort of out there. It was taking a bit longer to sell. And they came in, it fell out 3 times because of the inspection. And we didn't have an inspection to show anyone. The third time he said, just share the inspection. That's when it went through. But he lost 7 months in the sale and all the stigma of it falling out. We
can afford that.
Yeah. I think I love the fact that we can get, let's say if something comes up on the home inspection report, we can get quotes ahead of time. I love what you said, that when contractors see a for sale sign, prices just goes up. I mean, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I never thought of that.
It's so funny, Joey. Everybody I go through this with you, go through this with, says this is a no-brainer. Why aren't all homes sold this way? You know. So okay, so let's have a look at these. So an average investor cash offer, which is sometimes when people hear cash offer, they think it's an investor offer. So this one is 70% of the after repair value, right? That's a normal cash offer. You just get 70%. We're doing 66% up front on the cash offer. So it's not too far apart from a regular offer. The difference is we're going to use the CashCPO team money up front. We're going to take care of all of that. You're still going to be in the picture, by the way. And then we're going to improve the value of your home. It's not just about improving the value though. Quite honestly, you mentioned you got that little dog, and just getting the dog out of the house, you know, and, you know, cleaning that carpet in the bedroom where you mentioned there were a few little pee stains, or taking out that chick formica. Nobody wants to do anything these days, do they? They don't want to do anything. They don't want to paint the cabinets, put new hardware on. Even the little the house needs a paint job. They just move on to the next house. It's amazing. Everybody wants everything perfect. Do you think it's because we're in the HGTV world?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Right? It's amazing. So who knows? So I'm just going to go right to the net sheet down here. This is after all the fees, because you asked Salima, what's the catch? The catch is there's some fees that come out, but I want to show you the bottom line here. So with a conventional sale, after we pay the commissions and after, you know, all the fees, the repair concessions, everything else is paid off, we're looking at a net of $213,628. So on our cash offer, we're looking at a net of $217,768. And on a regular cash offer, we're looking at 134. So can we just throw the regular cash offer away?
Yeah.
This is for really distressed homes, or, you know, other situations where people do take cash offers all day, every day. So you can see ours, you're making a little bit more money. There's not much of a cushion there, but a little bit more money. But remember, you've got no showings. You're getting the majority of your equity within the first 14 days. You don't have to fix anything. We're doing some improvements that are going to improve the cost. How does that sound? Do you have any questions on that?
No questions so far.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a great option. I'm just wondering if there's a catch to that that I'm not seeing.
So they buy thousands of homes. They bought 1,000 homes. Zoomcast, our funding partner, bought 1,000 homes last year. They're aiming at 3,000 homes this year. They've been doing it since 2017. I can show you some success videos as well, and before and afters. They look like HGTV homes where they really go in and do the work. And even though that you may say that I want to deal with the elephant in the room, they own the house after this initial transaction. but every single one that I've seen, they keep you involved. So we all get on Zoom like this, and maybe we've got some quotes back because we don't know what there are yet because we haven't done the inspection. Maybe we get some quotes back on the roof, and oh my gosh, well, we didn't see that in the renovation budget. So we've got a renovation reserve of $70,000. We've got a big one on yours. We normally have $10,000, $20,000. I've seen them, lower than that, higher than that, all over the place. So we've got a reserve in there. And then we say, we were going to replace the island in the kitchen. I think we'll leave the island as is. Instead, we'll do the roof. We all have that conversation. Everybody's aligned. The funding partner makes their money from a percentage on your house. They don't want to come in with a low appraisal. They don't want to come in with high fees because they make less money. Everybody's aligned. And then you get the majority of the profit when we sell your house. And like I said at the beginning, most of our sellers get 90 to 120%. 2/3 of sellers make more with this option than they do with a conventional sale. But we know it's not just money. It's the fact that you can get the majority of your money within 14 days and move on. But I don't want you to feel that I'm pushing you into any particular route here at all. This is your choice. It's your home. And, it's all about what you would like. So what do you think, guys?
Well, the other option, the unconventional one, it's kind of very intriguing. So does that mean that if we sell the property at the higher price on the resale side, that we can potentially get more money? It sounds like.
Do you mean with a conventional CPO or with the cash CPO?
The cash CPO, the one in the middle.
The cash CPO, absolutely. And remember too, even though I'm putting this renovation budget in now, Joey, I'm going to get the best quotes I can get. And Zoomcast have this amazing group of project managers. I've got lots of local contractors here that I know and love. And because I've done a whole lot of these now, they give me great pricing. So I'm going to bring them in and get you the best price I can. We may not spend that $70,000. And okay. we're at a very good price point. I know because I've done all the comps. I'm your agent. I've done all the work for you to know that we can easily sell it at that 550 mark. So, maybe that we can economize on some of that 70, but you've got a very good cushion there, as you can see, on that.
What do you think? I mean, we can pay off our mortgage sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I like
that. That can save us some out-of-pocket expenses over the next couple of months by Thanksgiving. Because if we did the cash CPO, we can pay off the mortgage and then we can stay in the property.
I like that we're not going to be pushed into, having to find something so quick, considering that we're considering Arizona, and which we are. Mm-hmm. And I think there's
no ocean there.
There's a good option.
There's no beach in Arizona.
we're gonna figure that out, and I'm going to. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get you. We're going to be. I have an options list for you. Where you put down. I want you both to put down the 10 things that you're looking for where you're moving, and then you're going to score them 1 out of 10. And
I love that.
And then we're going to have a whole other discussion around that. I do it for houses, by the way. When we go to look at houses, I want you to build a list of 1 through 10, and I want you to score them that way. And you can both score them differently if you want. And every house we're going to go in, I'm going to go, okay, 1 through 10, how do we score it? Does it have a fireplace? No. Does it have a whatever you've looked at, every single house that we're looking at, to make it easier for you to choose?
Is the list separate for each of us, or it's a combined?
If you like it separate, I'll make it separate for you. So
I'm kidding,
I want to be completely open with you. There is a catch. It's you get to pay off your mortgage, right? We didn't talk about that. When it closes, you get to pay off your mortgage, and you've got that $2,500 a month payment that's going out. You pay a fee to Zoomcast of 0.9% a month. Every month it stays on the market. The good news is, because it's a certified pre-owned home now and we've cleaned it up, your home's going to really compete. It's going to win the beauty contest against all the other homes out there. It's even going to compete with a new home, because people go, well, honey, let's have a new home. It won't have any issues, right? Well, we've CPO'd it. We've certified pre-owned it. It's like, are we buying a CPO car or are we buying a new car? I don't know, new cars drop in value when you drive them off the lot. So let's have the CPO car where everything's been done, right? So you can now more easily compete with new homes because all those items have been fixed and you haven't had to do it.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And the 0.9 comes off the profit, not at the end when it sells. So nobody's going to ask you for 0.9% while you're sitting there and we're finding you in the new home.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we wouldn't be able to pay out of pocket.
Of course.
We want to make sure that
so
we're
we can
not.
keep that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we would be having a check within 2 weeks.
Yes. 66%, you'd get a check and your mortgage would be paid off, and then you'd have the rest of that money in your hand.
I think I like that. So we can start looking for the next home after we finish the list. We'll provide.
Yeah, it sounds like there might be some different opinions on what we're going to choose. So having time is going to be our best friend.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to help you through that. I know you're back at the end of this week. Let's all sit down and we'll start going through and have a family therapy session about where we're and what that looks like. And guess what? I'm also going to get with that agent now in Arizona and the other area you were looking at by the coast. I'm going to get with both agents and we're going to look at those 10 things that you come up with. So I know you're over there right now. I know you're using WhatsApp for free. Send me on WhatsApp the 10 things that you're looking for, and I'll get with the agent and I'll have all this ready for Friday when you come home. And hey, I'll bring around some takeout, or maybe we'll go to dinner and have a glass of wine. You can tell me about the Olympics. Your offer will be in place at that point, and we'll be ready to go. Sound good?
Oh, perfect. Amazing. Well, you know what, Ro, we were just having a conversation beforehand that who's going to be the best agent, who has the best lockbox, and you provided much more than that. So this is a different experience, really, and really happy to be working with you.
You're making me blush. Thank you guys so much. I'm very honored to be working with you, and I can't wait to get your home sold and help you into the next chapter. Maybe I can come and visit you in Arizona.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time and also for providing so much value with all these different options. It's really great to be able to choose and have us have the option ourselves to choose from versus being pushed and forced into something. So that's a completely new way. So we appreciate that very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I am so glad. Okay, now we can pause the recording. How do we do, guys? Anybody want to pipe up that's in the room? People are like, wow, what's happening? They were coming into the room too and going,
oh, Ash is still here.
Who's Ash?
I'm here. I didn't go
How
anywhere.
did we do, Ash? That was
great.
terrifying.
Are you really at the Olympics? That's all I want to know, Hudson.
We wish, yeah.
Right.
No, I think it was a good flow, and I think that slide row where you put the 3 offers come side by side. I think that for me, just having talked to you for a few weeks about this and had a call with Joey, I think that even crystallized things a little bit more for me to understand exactly what was happening and how the process works.
Good.
Yeah.
They're not even married, Ash. If you missed
well,
this was all role play, and we hadn't even
get an Oscar. You should get an Oscar. That was.
Yeah, you were really great at handling it as we were going. That was really great.
Well, that's what you have to do in a real listing presentation, right? So you've been there. So you're a real estate agent. You're out in the field. You have to wing it because you don't. However good you are at asking questions and setting it up correctly, you always end up not knowing some of the answers. So you have to wing it. And often, I don't know about you, listing agents who are watching this on YouTube, but when you're in the field, husbands and wives can start arguing with each other. As happened, I mean, that's natural. That's normal.
Especially in those scenarios.
Yeah, and those scenarios are common. So having, therapy sessions afterwards is really good. It's very simple. You just get both of the couple to, write down 1 out of 10. What do they want? I do the same thing for a house. I know you'll know me for spreadsheets. It looks like a spreadsheet. It's lines, and you put, house 1 at the top, and then you've got 10 things that you want from a house. and you score each house, because you don't remember when you've seen 6 houses which one had what, honestly. So it's a very easy sheet, and you total the scores at the bottom. So logically, house A is the one that you're going to choose, right? Because it's got a higher score. Doesn't always work like that, because you put 11, by the way. Anybody watch Spinal Tap all the way up to 11? 11 is the secret sauce factor. Where would you score it for feel, right? You walk in that door like, oh, this is the one for me. That's where you put, up to 20 points on, because that's one that doesn't have the fireplace, even though the wife or the husband said, I've got to have a fireplace. Hey, guess what? Now it goes out the window, or that Joey needed an ocean. Well, maybe we can find an inexpensive flight from Arizona out to, I don't know, or we can find a big lake in Arizona or something. I'll know that because I'm going to do my homework as an agent, figuring out where you're going next and finding the best agent we should have had Patty on today, or Barb on today. They're in Arizona. To talk about where you could be, and be near water, or be near the place to fly out of. Like, none of this is rocket science. It's common sense. Is it to do with you selling your house? Yes, it is, because if I can make you comfortable where you're going, I'm going to get your home sold. And at the end of the day, I don't do all this for free. I know that's a shock.
Right.
Anyway.
I worked with an agent who did the same thing. San Jose, moved to Texas. He bought a ticket for the entire family, and got a referral agent there. Like, what is good? Yeah,
we've got them lined up, and they're trained better usually. So knowing what to do. It's any questions on and this presentation is available to everybody in any of the CashCPO derivatives. It's yours to use. Make it your own. Put your own logo on it. Take out, coming soon. Put your own pictures on there. But it's a decent framework. It's actually the basic. All those programs are covered in the first book, Find Your Unique Value Proposition. The programs are there for a reason. They came from a place of solving a problem. How often do you hear real estate gurus talk about solve a problem, right? That's what you're doing. You're solving a problem. So the memories video, the whole story's in the book. That was an elderly couple. These are all real stories. It was an elderly couple. He was in a wheelchair and she was about in tears, and it was an old farmhouse in an okay area in the mountains. And I was training a listing agent. I was out with the listing agent, and she was in tears, and she didn't, not the listing agent, the elderly lady. And my new listing agent was there, and it was sort of uncomfortable because it was just a weird setting. It looked like they'd cleared the house out. It looked like they were about to go into assisted living, or, he was going to pop his clogs next week. And I just pivoted and said, Sally, it looks like you really don't want to sell your house. And she immediately went into, my daughter got married and walked down those stairs. My son had his graduation party out there, and, husband's sitting there in a wheelchair, and the stairs to get into the house. And I said, oh my gosh, we do a memories video for you. And the new listing agent's sitting there going, wait, what? What's a memories video? I made it up on the spot because it's very obvious. They were attached to all those memories. We already do a walk into a video, just capture them on the video, and then you have your memories to take with you. It's solving a problem. So that's what all these programs are. The Love It or Leave It is the same thing. Does anybody ask you to sell it for free? No. Ask me how many times I've done it since 2007. 2 people have qualified in that time for the sell it for free. In unfortunate circumstances. That came out of solving a problem. A guy bought a house with her. 6 months later, his father had a stroke. This is years ago. It's like 2008, 2009. Had a stroke, and he wanted to move back to Arizona to take care of him. And I said, this really sucks. You just spent all this money, moving. I'll sell it for you for free. He said, I can't have you do that. And that's where that program was born. So I've never sold it for free because people go, I can't have you working for money. Working for nothing. But for buyers, it gives them peace of mind. Oh, if I don't like this area, or I don't like that town, she'll sell it for free for 6 months. The discount is 0.02%. Who wouldn't give that if Joey and Salima bought a house with me, who wouldn't give them a 0.2% discount on the listing for 10 years? It's nothing, but it's the longest discount. It's the longest guarantee in the business. Like, So the programs are all there solving a problem. It makes you feel better about working with me. And guess what? When Joey and Salima buy with me, I can keep in touch with them once a year. Hey, don't forget, if you're ever selling, I've got the love it or leave it guarantee. Instead of, oh, hi, how are you doing? I haven't called you in a year, which is what most of us do. So
it solve her question about we want the forever home. And so if you made a wrong decision, like at least we have peace of mind. Okay, this is the wrong neighborhood. Or
yes.
What you're eliminating any fear that can come up and any objections they may be having, you're already having a solution so that it reduces the fear and they move into action.
And agents say, I can't go around selling homes for free. You probably won't have to. It's going to be 1 in 100, if that. And secondly, I only work with successful agents. Successful agents, if the agent I'm working with in Arizona, if we had Patty on the line right now, she'd probably tell you this. She does enough deals whereby if you're struggling and you really hate that home, she's going to sell it at a big discount or for free, right? Because she wants you for forever clients.
Yep.
We don't call them past clients, by the way. You know what past clients are? Dead or gone away. We call them forever clients. Don't call them past clients.
Forever home, not forever clients.
Thank you so much, guys. You did an amazing job. You really came off as husband and wife. That was awesome.
My ring is on my index finger.
It was awesome. Awesome. Thank you. And I know.
Thanks, Ro. You did well.
For people just looking in, I know it just, seemed like we did an okay job, but it's really hard doing this. So thank you. You did a great job. And now we've got a recording for Saturday. So it's really awesome. Thank you. You're going to be on radio on Saturday. All right, guys.
Bye, Ro.
I'm not even looking at the time. I'm sure we're way over.
All right. I know. Bye.
Thank you. Great job. Nice to meet you. Bye.